Alright, today we're going to talk about how to read vernier calipers and micrometers. Today we're just going to do the vernier calipers. This here is a 0 to 1 inch micrometer, and this one actually reads in 1/10,000th of an inch. And this is a vernier caliper. It reads in 1/1000th of an inch on the bottom and 1/128th of an inch on the top. But for today we're just going to go over the 1/1000th inches. So 1,000, 1/1000th to 1 inch. So that means that if you look at the scale here, I'll zoom in on this here for you guys. There we go. You can see that it is a scale of 0 to 25 on this bottom scale, and it reads in 1/1000th of an inch. This top scale reads in 1/128th of an inch. So there's 128 divisions in this inch on this scale, and 1,000 divisions of an inch on this scale. So this, of course, will be way finer, and this is mostly what mechanics uses this scale here. Okay, how to read this. I'll take this one out of our way. And you see the bottom scale, it's in 1 inch is divided into 10. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1 inch. And this scale is divided into 25 increments. So if you look on this first part here, every division or every line is 1 scale length of this scale. And that's how you'll read all calipers of this style. So 25 1/1000ths, 25 1/1000ths is equal to the first line. So from 0 to the first line is 25, or one of these scales. From the second line to the third line is 25 of these scales. Third to the fourth, 25 of these scales, and so on. So if your 0 lines up with the 0, of course it's 0. If you move it along to the first line, if the 0 lines up with the first line, you'll have 25 1/1000ths of an inch. That would be, if you were to write it, it would be 0.025. So let's try that. I'll show you exactly where that is. So right there, the 0 lines up with the first line. It is 25,000ths of an inch, 1/1000th of an inch, or 0.025 of an inch. The scale of 25 isn't counted right now because the 0 lines up. If we go to the next line, which is the second line, that would be 25 there, another 25. So that's 50 1/1000ths, which we've written 0.050 of an inch in thousandths. The next one would be another 25. Another scale of this goes into there. It's at the 0, so it's 75 thousandths. 25, 50, 75. 75 1/1000ths of an inch, or 0.075. Go one more. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 times 25. 4 25s is 100 1/1000ths of an inch, or 0 inches, 0.100 would be the way you would write it. If you advance along here to the 200, so it's 25 for every increment again. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 25s is 200. 200 1/1000ths of an inch. Of course, we already have the 2 there, so we don't have to count it manually. So 200 1/1000ths of an inch. And as we go on, 300, 400, 500. See the 0s lining up with the 5 on the bottom scale. Don't even look at the top scale. Look strictly at the bottom scale. Sorry, I moved just a bit there. Okay, now we have to take into account these 25. I'll show you how that works now. So if we go back to 0, it's 0. So 0 1,000ths of an inch. So I told you every increment here is one scale this, or 25 1,000ths. So when we read this bottom scale, if it's less than the 25, see now the 0 doesn't make it to the 25, then we refer to this bottom scale. So we look at which line lines up on this bottom scale. So the 0 is passed. We're just looking for a line that lines up. The 1 is passed. The 5 doesn't line up with any. 6 doesn't line up. 7, no. 10. 10, oh, 10 is really close to lining up. Let's see. The 9 is passed. The 10, oh, a little bit past. 11, a little bit past 2. 12, perfect. So 12 lines up. We don't care what these numbers are saying here. We're just reading the bottom because we know that every increment over on this side is 25 of these. So it's under 25. So now we go to this scale and we say the 12 lines up with a line. So now it is 12 1,000ths of an inch because it's under the 25. So you would write that 0.012 of an inch. So it's 12 1,000ths of an inch. So now let's go to the 25 and past it. Oops. Okay. So now the 0 is past the 25, so we count the 25. It's the first 25, so one of these scales is in, and we're to the 25. So that's 25, and now it doesn't line up with the next one. It doesn't make it to the next 25, which would be 50. So we go to this bottom scale, and we look for what lines up. 0 we know doesn't line up. 5 doesn't line up. 10 doesn't line up, it's still before it. 15 is it. Or possibly 16. Vernier calipers, you kind of get within a thou or two, so it's not totally that accurate, but it's close enough for most quick things. So we're going to say that I would say the 16 lines up best. So now we have 25 because we're past the first line, but it doesn't make it to the second line, which would be 50. So we go 25 plus 16. So 25 plus 16, 35, 40, and 1, 41. So 41 1,000ths of an inch. So 0.041 of an inch. And there you have it. It's as simple as that. So now you can read any measurement there. Say we put it up to here, we look at the 0. So what do we have here? It's first line's passed. The 0 lines up with what? It's past the 3, which would be 300,000, right? 25, 50, 50, 75, 100, 200, 300. Are you counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 25s are 300. And the 0 is past the 3. So now we have to look at the bottom scale. So we know it's 0.300. If the 0 lined up with the 300 or with the 3, so it'll be 300 1,000ths. And it's past the 3. How much is it past the 3? Well, we have to look at, see which of the bottom lines lined up. We know the 0 is passed. 5 is passed. Oh, 10 is the other side. What lines up? No, 10 is passed too, sorry. 11. So the 11 on this scale lines up with one of these lines. So the 11 we keep in track, and it's 300 plus the 11. So 311 1,000ths of an inch. So 0.311 of an inch. 0.311. Now if we extend it all the way till it passes the 1 inch increment, remember we're not looking at the top scale. This is a different scale altogether. We're looking at the bottom scale only, the 1 1,000ths. So let's go over to there. Okay, let's go a little more. Let's go here. So now we know the 0 is past the 1 inch. So it's 1 point something now. It's past the 1 inch. So now we read, after we pass the 1 inch, we read the scale again. And when we made it to the 1 inch, we realized that it's past the 1,000. So we have 1,000 1,000s, which equal 1 or 1 inch, plus whatever we go. So each one is 25 plus the 1 inch, 25, 50, 75, 1, 100. So we can go to the 2s, 200, 300, 400. We're looking to where the 0 lines up. 500, 600, it's past the 600, it's past the 25, it's past the 50, but it's not to the 75, so it's before the 75. So we have 1 inch, 0.6, 25, 50, so 0.650, and then we have to look at the bottom scale to see where what lines up. 5, it's past the 5. I would say the 15 is the closest one, so 15 lines up with a line, so we go back to the 0, 625, 50, so 650 and 15, so 650, 675, I'm sorry, 665, so 665 thou, so it's 1.665, and there you have it. Now you know how to read a vernier caliper in the 1/1000. We'll do another one in the 1/28th next video, and then we'll go to metric. See you later.